Liking this video will help this channel to grow. So please go ahead and give this video a like. Guys, today I'm so excited. We will be concluding this lesson with section 3, which looks at significant figures and estimating calculations. Before you watch this part of the lesson, I would advise that you watch section 1 and 2, as the content covered in both sections will be quite useful to help you gain a clearer understanding of estimations and rounding. I'm so proud of you for making it this far in the series. Now, remember, you can access the practice questions in the description of this video. So, question: what are significant figures? Significant figures are the digits in a number that contribute to the accuracy of that number. Now we start counting significant figures from the first non-zero digit from the left of a number, which is called the first significant figure. The next digit is called the second significant figure, and so on. So let's look at this. So first significant figure is the first non-zero digit, which means the first digit that's not zero. So in 3, 4, 5, first significant figure is 3. The second significant figure is 4. The third significant figure is 5. Then we've got a decimal number here, 0.051. So remember, first digit from the left, that's not 0. So therefore, 5 is the first significant figure, which means 1 is the second significant figure. So zeros after the non-zero digits are significant. So I've got 0.301. So first significant figure is 3. 0 in between is also significant. So that's the second significant figure. And 1 is the third significant figure. Beautiful. So we're now going to talk about the rules of significant figures. So zeros, what happens to zeros after significant figures? So if I've got a decimal number, once the significant figures have started, all the digits after are significant, including 0 as well. So this number here has only 4 significant figures. So the 3 first zeros before the number 9 are not significant at all. But we started with 9, which is the first significant figure. So 9, 1, 0, and 2 are all significant. They are all significant. Remember, we said once we've started the significant figures, the numbers including 0 in between will also be significant. So what are the 3 key points we need to focus on? Point 1. All non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits are significant. Second one is that zeros between other non-zero digits are also significant. So for example, in the number 40,503 here, I've highlighted the 2 zeros there in between. Because they are in between 2 numbers that are significant, they are also significant. We can see if we took those zeros out, the number would just have been 453, not the number we are presently looking at. Now, third point is that zeros that are to the left of non-zero digits are not significant at all. And we looked at that in the example before, where we said the zeros before the 9 were not significant at all. So to round to significant figures now, this is what we need to do. So we have experience in our rounding from the other two sections that we've discussed to this lesson in the previous upload. So most of you know what's the main criteria to round up or round down a digit. So step 1, we locate the significant figure for the degree of accuracy that is required. Then we start at the first non-zero digit. This is the first significant figure. Remember, starting from the left of the number. Step 2, we look at the digit that is to the right of that number. Remember, we apply the rounding principle. If the number is 5 or above, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we round up the target place value by 1. If it is 0 to 4, we are rounding down, which means leaving the target digit as it is. But we need to focus on what was the value of that digit, because the value has to be kept the same. So if the degree of accuracy is 10 or more, we fill in zeros to make the number the correct size. So for example, I cannot round a number in the thousands place and end up with a number in the hundreds place. That would have changed the value altogether of the digits. So for significant figures, I've got to make sure that I preserve the place value of the digits after I have rounded. So last one is to remove the extra digits. So we discard all digits to the right of the rounded target digits. And when we get into our examples now, we will qualify this all, but make sure that you write them down. So let's look at the following examples. So I've got 6 examples here. So each of them are given to different degree of accuracy. So for the first question, we're asked to round 649 to 2 significant figures. So again, I start counting from the left. So 6 is my first significant figure, 4 is my second significant figure, 9 is third significant figure. So I'm rounding to 2. So I'm going to count 1, 2, then I check. I can see the digit to my right, means I should round up since it is a 9. So this 4 is now going to become 5 when I add 1, but the number was 649, so I cannot just write 65. I've got to round up to the nearest 10. So the answer is 650. I have preserved my place value. My 600 is still 600. So it is 650, closer to 650 than it is to 640, to 2 significant figures. Now I'm going to do the next question. So we're asked to round 0.0456 to 1 significant figure. Step 1, I need to identify which digit is the first significant figure. So remember, zeros at the front of this number are not significant. So my 4 is my first significant figure. I now need to check the digit behind. It's a 5, so I'm rounding up. So it's going to be approximately 0.05. Okay, now I do not put zeros at the end. I have this number is now written to 1 significant figure. This means only 1 digit in my answer should not be 0. Should be a number that is a non-zero digit. Next question, I've got 40,900 to round to 3 significant figures. So again, first non-zero digit is 4. So I count 1, 2, 3, check. I can see here that I would have to round down because I've got a 0 after the 9. Very interesting question here. Now, in order for me to keep the place value of the 4, I would have to just write the answer, just the number that I was given. So it is still going to be 40,900. I cannot get rid of the zeros at the end, else I would now have 490. My number is 40,000. So I have to keep my number exactly as it is. And this is to 3 significant figures. Now, next question asks me to round 0.0801 to 2 significant figures. So again, I identify my first non-zero digit, which is 8. The second non-zero digit is 0. It's in between 2 significant figures. So 1, 2, check. Now I'm going to check the digit behind, which is 1, so I need to round down. So the answer would be 0.080. Yes, the 0 at the end now counts as a significant figure because it was in between 2 significant figures. So therefore, my answer will be this 0 at the end is very important because it counts as the second significant figure. Watch this over as many times as you need to see the difference in the questions. So next one asks us to round 42,199 to 4 significant figures. Again, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, check. Now we've got a 9 to the right, so we need to round up. So therefore, this is now going to be 4, 2, 1. But if we notice here, so let me just erase that bit, because when we add that 1, then we're going to add 1 to 9, which is now going to make it become 10. So, just trying to get my pen back here. Okay, so I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, check. I'm going to add 1 to the 9 here, which is going to make that becomes 10. So I have to bring 1 to the next place value here. So it's going to be 4, 2, 2, 0, 0. So therefore, now why do I need to put the 0 at the end? Because my first digit has to stay in its place value. If I take that 0 off at the end, my number is going to be smaller. So in this case, I add 1 to 9, making it 10. So take 1 to the next place. It's now going to be 4, 2, 2. Now I need to replace those 2 digits with 0, so I preserve the accuracy of my number. And the final question in this section says round 0.9146 to 3 significant figure. First significant figure is 9, so 1, 2, 3, check. 6 can be rounded up, so this 4 will now be 5. So the answer is 0.915. So if you notice a pattern here, if I've got decimal numbers, I do not put zeros on the end when I've reached my significant figure. However, if I've got whole numbers, I've got to make sure I preserve my accuracy by putting that 0 as a placeholder, so I preserve the place value of my first significant figure. Amazing. So we're going to just estimate these calculations, and then we are going to look at our key takeaways. So we're asked in this question to estimate the following calculation. Question could also say approximate. Now, whenever we're asked to estimate, we always round to 1 significant figure every digit in our question, every number in our question. Question doesn't always say that, but you've got to know once a question say approximate or estimate, all numbers must be rounded to 1 significant figure. So we're asked here to do 2,371 times by 1.84 divided by 36.92. Now, this would be a non-calculator question. So first thing we need to do is to round each number to 1 significant figure. So 2371, if we check on the second digit here, we're rounding to the first one. So we got to check on the second, we're rounding down. So this one rounds to 2000. Multiplied by first significant figure here, checking on the digit behind, we're rounding up. So this one rounds to 2. Divided by first significant figure here, checking on 6, we're rounding up, so this rounds to 40. So basically, we're doing 2,000 times 2, which is 4,000, and dividing that by 40. Easy way to do this is to cancel zeros by dividing by 10. Now I'm doing 400 divided by 4, which is 100. So this is approximately 100 for my answer. Beautiful. So we go to the next one. We're going to round all the numbers to one significant figure. So 4.81 to one significant figure is 5, plus we've got 3.31 squared to one significant figure will be 3 squared, and dividing that by 17.29 to one significant figure is 20, plus 8.43 to one significant figure, rounding down, that's 8. So 3 squared is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14, and then 14 28. We could simplify by doing 14 into itself goes once, and into 28 goes 2. So this is approximately a half for the answer. And then the last one, we are doing square root of 97, which is close to 100. So to one significant figure, we're doing the square root of 100 plus, rounding this number, 2.014 cubed to one significant figure is 2 cubed, and dividing by, rounding to one significant figure, this is 0.5, which is a half. So the square root of 100 is 10, plus 3 cubed means 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, and then dividing by 0.5. So 10 plus 8 is 18, divided by a half. So remember, dividing by a half is the same as multiplying by 2. So 18 times by 2 is 36. And that's our final question. Now guys, it's time for our key takeaways. Remember, you can watch this as many times as you need to, just to practice those questions. So first point that we talked about was what was a significant figure. We said significant figures are digits in a number that contributes to the accuracy of the number. We start counting our significant figure from the left of our number, the first digit from the left that is not 0, so non-zero digits. So rules of significant figure, all non-zero digits are significant. Zeros that are in between non-zero digits are also significant, and all zeros to the left of our numbers will be not significant at all. So once they are to the left of our significant figures, they are not significant. So it's very important to note the difference between rounding to our decimal place, rounding to the nearest integer, to the nearest tens, and also for our significant figure. And the final point I'll make is that once we're asked to do an estimate, we always round all numbers in our calculation to one significant figure. Beautiful. I'm so proud of you for making it through these 3-part lessons, completing all rounding on estimations. Remember, you can find your independent practice questions in the description, and also there is a mark scheme for you to mark your work. If you haven't done so yet, guys, make sure that you like the video, you share, and importantly, that notification bell, you've got to hit it so you see all uploads from this channel. Remember, TikTok is still there for you to go and engage with other questions as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching.